Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Here we are with another Guild Wars video. This is going to be from the attacks that I've done from yesterday's Guild Wars. It's going to be a commentary on the recordings that I have already. It's not going to be live. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first defense is Alencia, Harseti, and Young Senya. This is also a common defense, but I see, like I encounter more than Alencia, but it's a popular defense regardless. The second round is going to be Sea Phantom Politis, BBK, and my arch nemesis, Emma Feyre, of course. Yeah. So my thought process was, this is not a scouting. So sometimes what I do is, if I'm the first one to attack, then I have to think of the possibilities. Like for instance, Emma Feyre might be on Spear of Purification. If that's the case, then I have to make sure that I have someone to like cut it with CR manipulation. Someone like Politis, someone like Absolute Fiend. But at this time, since I wasn't doing the scoutings, my guildmate mentioned that Emma Feyre isn't on Spear of Purification, so I decided to just go with Emma Luna for second round with an Emma and Speed Imprint and LiQWYD. Basically, that's the offense I came for round 2. For round 1, this one is a bit more detailed, but at the same time very safe attack. So some people go down bringing their own Alencia into round 1, but I personally find that a bit like it takes too much time to clear. With my current comp, you can just get things done in 30 seconds, like even less than that sometimes. So it's very convenient, but you definitely need a Galililius on triple turn set, Elvira to stop Young Senya's fighting spirit, and then your own Young Senya to cut her setting. So without further ado, let's check their gear. The artifact is not a must, but it's a good idea to have for future attacks. Go back. Yeah, so nothing special here. It's just 137 speed with some HP and defense. With Elvira, I have her on profiler because I use her against some different comps. You don't have to have that. You don't even have to have effectiveness on her. With Galililius, and not only just effectiveness, but effectiveness for the specific attack either, it should be fine. With Galililius, I have mine on turn set, triple turn set with 4.5k attack, and then decent crit damage, and also Genoa's artifact. Genoa's artifact is a very good idea because it allows her to sustain longer, even because sometimes you're gonna get her targeted by other units, so you don't want that. And this much attack and crit damage ensures you that you can deal almost 40k damage to Alencia. So it comes in very clutch. For round 2, as I mentioned, this is just a clean comp. Some book, 255 speed. Muna, it's 303 with book as well. And then Wonder Silk, nothing special. I just have her on Sachet for Flag Arena. And Speed Imprint, of course, that's the reason why she's here. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. At the start of the fight, we're gonna see, of course, Harseti applying Strain. This is gonna proc our Young Senya, but because we have Elvira in our team, it's not gonna proc their Young Senya. So, which is a blessing because it's gonna allow us to clear things very fast. With S3, of course, we're gonna push Galililius. And then check out the damage. Sometimes when you're doing damage calculations, guys, don't forget to factor in the splash damage you're gonna get from Young Senya's S2, because let's say that you couldn't get the damage you need, but Young Senya is gonna do like 5k-ish damage anyway, so you can reduce that amount if you are struggling with gearing. I find it a bit difficult because some people use her in RTA as well. But as you guys just saw, this is a very clean comp, very fast clear. The only inconvenience in my opinion is Elvira's extra attacks, but it's not no big deal. I mean, I can wait as long as I get the win, and as long as I don't like int, I am fine with tanking down, playing it slow, watching animations. It's completely fine. Then Gala, I mean, come on, like I had S3, I had to use it. Look at the damage again. I just love her so much in this current meta. 38k damage. Now second round, I outsped, and as I mentioned, she wasn't on Spear of Purification. If she was on Spear of Purification, it's a different story. So then you need to replace Wanderer's Silk with Politis and then outspeed them. That's the key part. But even then, maybe your Ludwig is gonna get behind. I don't know. Yeah, with S3, so burn S3, we just deal a decent chunk of damage. I had to use, let me guys pause it. I had to use S2, and you might be wondering, okay, but they are like, they have seal, why did you even use S2? This is because BBK was on Shepherd of Hollows, so I was guaranteed to hit Emalpera. I knew that because I just sealed her and all her evasion is gone. But for BBK, I had to use S2 to make sure that I get the hit chance buff, and then with S3, I just clean them. Very safe attack, guys, very simple. And then, yeah, she survived, of course she survived. I mean, come on, like, why don't you just let me get this done in 10 seconds? But no, nobody likes clavers, right? Yes. Very good attack. Now let's move into the second one. So guys, the second defense is gonna be more Ambitious Tywin and Seapant Politis on round 1, and on round 2 is gonna be Bright Senya, Harseti, and Afternoon Salt Plan. The thing is, my round 1 isn't safe. Like, it involves so much RNG because of Harseti. But this is our stronghold, and the war was about to be over, so I had to make sure that I attacked. I was ready to risk it. There are some different comps in Fribles that you can use, but the problem with that is I don't have Sweet Miracle. Like, when I started playing on 2023 September, 5 months later, LiQWYD got announced, and I was a new player and I was trying to do Guild Wars justice, so I was constantly getting new RGB heroes, and I know that you need to save resources for limited heroes, but the thing is, I saved up 160 summons worth of bookmarks for LiQWYD, but I didn't get even one copy of her artifact, and back then I didn't have the powder to buy her artifact. So now I'm desperately waiting for a LiQWYD rerun to get her artifact, and I'm not poor anymore, or I'm not a new player anymore, so I have the resources, including the powder, but I couldn't get it, so I cannot use stuff like Mediator Caverick to make sure that I counter Mort's Fear, because 2-turn Fear, in my opinion, is so cruel. But what you're gonna do, so I didn't want to use comps like this. That's the reason why I went with this comp. So my thought process behind this was, okay, I have to make sure that even if I die, I have a form of reviving myself. So what better way to do that but Ruel? She's perfect for this. She cannot be sealed, she cannot be like that effect unless there's someone that prevents her from reviving. She's gonna be here, so that's very good. The second idea was that, okay, their Sea Phantom Politis is most probably gonna be more than 300 something speed. Let's cut their momentum up. Like, that's the best idea in my opinion. So I brought Harseti. The other reason why I brought her was because if I land the debuffs on her S3, she places unable to counterattack first and then unbuffable second. Because of that, Tywin doesn't get the rage buff, and without the rage buff, if you have 100% ER Ruel, you can sometimes dodge that decrease defense and stun. With Mort, you cannot do anything unless you have immunity, but with a Tywin, if you prevent him from gaining rage somehow, and if you have like 150 effectiveness to be safe, then you can resist his debuffs, no problem. That's the reason why I thought her city will be here, it will be great here, and it allows me to gain the momentum to my side. With the second comp, it's very easy. I just checked my guildmates' scoutings, and then they said that Brania wasn't on Holy Sack because she was on 3F. I was like, okay, let me just one-shot her with my Gala, and then let me one-shot Afternoon Soak Flan with my Shaltier. So very straightforward comp, almost guaranteed. I don't see any RNG. Maybe if Belian is on Holy Sack, then you can sometimes encounter problems, but even when that happens, Galadilius, because mine is on Generous Artifact, she has so much barrier that they cannot break it, and then I take turns. But yeah, that's a story for another day. Now let's get into it. With Royal, have her on Water's Origin so that she can get HP. This is very important. One other reason that I decided to use Flan on my side is because, okay, she has evasion, so she's not going to be hit unless I am below 1 focus. But if I build her on, like, I have 2 Flans, luxury rich, I know, but I had to drop in so many resources to get 2 of them, so I'm very happy. But regardless, this one is on lifesteal build, but my Banshee gear is trash. Still, I just managed to put in some things together. With the lifesteal, if I manage to kill Sea Phantom Politis, and then one of them, like maybe Mort or Ambitious Tyrant, if I manage to kill one of them, then Afternoon Soak Flan with her lifesteal is gonna be up against some, like, one unit that cannot hit her, so she's gonna constantly be lifestealing away the damage that they do, but they won't have lifesteal, so they're just gonna die. That was my thought process. So I didn't bring in my damage plan, I brought in my lifesteal plan. Immunity is not a must in this attack. With Harseti, I just put on our Proof of Valor. This is my standard Harseti with some effectiveness and everything. I double check Ruel here because you need to make sure that your Ruel's health is less than your Harseti's health, because you don't want your Ruel to die immediately. As you remember, Mort penetrates highest HP units defense by 70%, I believe, and the other units maybe 30% or something, or maybe no penetration, I don't remember, but the difference is very, like, drastic in my opinion. So I decided to make sure that Harseti is the highest HP on Proof of Valor. That's the reason why I double checked here. With Yang Senya, same thing, same builds, just artifacts. With Shaltier, I just put her on this artifact. Normally, I use my max Proof of Valor on Shaltier. This is because when you are using her up against Harseti, if you have Proof of Valor on Shaltier, her health doesn't go below 60%, and she needs to be at 60% HP to get an attack buff before she attacks enemy flag. So that's the reason why I use my own Proof of Valor to ensure that she has an attack buff when she goes up against flag. But with this attack, because Galadilius pushes her allies using her S2 with her S2 passive, I was like, okay, she's gonna get the attack buff from Galadilius, so just use her on Tampa. Galadilius, the same build as I did previous fight. Now let's just jump into it. I was having a panic attack here. I was like, oh my god, did I get disconnected? So, but I didn't, so I'm very happy. So, one important thing. So, Mort, no, Ambitious Tywin is, I think, yeah, is on Bastion of Perlucia. So this is a good thing against, if you want to prevent your team from getting their skills reset by Roana, or if, like, it's very good in terms of keeping your immunity. One other thing is that when they have immunity like this, you cannot use S1 hard steady and then dual attack with flan. So yeah, you need to keep in mind this. And also the RNG factor that I was mentioning before is the CR bar. Of course, I was very, very lucky. I got my Royale right after hard steady. So if C Phantom Politis was after my hard steady, then I would get my immunity stripped. Then it would give rage buff to a Tywin, and then he would just defense break and stun my whole team. Then Mort would use S3 and it would just, I think, wipe out my Harseti, and then also maybe my Rel. I don't know, I haven't checked Mort's damage calculations like that. But even if that happened, I had Ruel on my team, so she would just come back, use S2 into herself for damage limit, and then slowly but steadily I would just kill them one by one. But I got lucky and I got Ruel second, so that's the reason why I didn't want to use this comp. But as I mentioned, because we were up against a stronghold, I had to attack. So here I just use S3. This is because this skill decreases the buff durations by 2 turns. So I just want to get that Sea Phantom Politis out of stealth, mainly because she cuts my land's focus gain by half. So she's my priority right now. As you just saw, I landed all the unbuffables. No speed buff for them, no barriers for them, no rage for them. S1 into Sea Phantom Politis, and then another S1 to make sure that I have more than one focus. This is because when she is less than one focus, remember, then there's a chance that you can get hit by a Tyrant. So if that happens, you're gonna get stunned and then lose a turn. So I just use S1, get that focus, and of course Mort is not gonna be able to hit me because of elemental disadvantage, but I just ensured that a Tyrant couldn't debuff me as well. So luckily for us, he couldn't land the defense break. He went with another. So my assumptions were correct. If a Tywin was able to land the defense break, then my Harseti would right now be dead. But we survived. I just use S3 here. This is because even though a Tywin is going to cleanse that unbuffable because of his passive, he's not going to be able to cleanse the defense break unless he takes another turn, but I didn't see that he was very close in the CR bar. So here we land the defense break, but then he gets another turn, so we lose the defense break. But then it's still okay because Plan was able to cut everything. And one more advantage to lifesteal Plan in this specific attack is that you can just make sure that if your Harseti dies, you can restore your own health on your Plan to full, and then the others just keep attacking Ruel instead of Plan. I just wanted to watch this animation. I didn't have to do it, but I just wanted to watch it, sorry. From now on, like, it's very easy. A defense break into one-shotting Mort. Of course he's on Holy Sack. Would you expect anything else? Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I don't want to use my lifesteal Plan, because her damage is very low. But guys, better safe than to be sorry. Like, nobody died, so it was a safe attack. If the RNG is on your side, it's a very safe attack. Very easy. So Harseti is gonna use S3 because I have Young Senya and another green unit. As always, I'm gonna proc S2 into S3. This is gonna do some chip damage, so my Gala doesn't have to deal too much damage. Or sometimes if they're on protection set or Bastion of Perlucia, Young Senya is gonna cut down some of that barrier as well and make Galileo's job easier. So a simple S3 into Brenya, immediately one-shot her, push my shell tier, give her the attack buff that she needs, and then S3 into Flan, and then easy peasy. Very safe attack. One hit, and then goodbye. Like I mentioned the first round, when I get my Sweet Miracle, I've been even saving up potions for it. So when I get it, I'm gonna start filming more like safer videos. But in my opinion, it was a good attack anyway. Now, let's move on to the last one. This is again from this war. We are up against BBK, Bellion, and Sea Phantom Poultice on round 1. So with this defense, I actually used Simple Angelica, Genoa, and BBK. I think I used that offense for maybe 50 times and I only lost once. So it's a very safe attack, but I'm gonna be very real with you guys. I missed using my Arya. I love her so much. So this attack, I just wanted to use her. That's the only reason why. Normally this comp has some risks involved, especially if BBK is on evasion artifact. You can end up dying with your Arya. Even though you have so much defense and mitigation, you still can die. So to prevent that, you need to make sure that your Arya is very tanky. But like I mentioned, I just wanted to use my Arya. How this comp works is very simple. You are racing with Sea Phantom Poultice's effectiveness. So your Arya has to have at least 100 effect resistance. Christie is going to provide half of her effect resistance to Arya. And then I also have 20% effect resistance artifact on my Elena. Also, she's gonna provide more effect resistance with her buff. So I am like triple stacked on all the effectiveness. And after Sea Phantom Poultice uses S3, I can say 95% of the time it's gonna be a fast Bellion, and then she's gonna use S3, and then it's gonna proc your Elena, and your Elena's gonna push forward and then attack invincibility. So that's the reason why Elena is there. On second round, we are up against Mort, Harseli, and Young Senya. As I mentioned in the first video, this is more common than Alencia. Like Mort is more common than Alencia, but here we have a problem. We have Young Senya, so we then again have to bring our Elvira here. This is another office that I used in my previous videos. We have Elvira in the back row with Proof of Valor. We have Brenya on any artifact you want, minus Aureus. You don't want to use Aureus on her because you have to make sure that Elvira goes below 50% HP to proc your Brenya. That's the reason why we just have plus 15 Proof of Valor on Elvira, and then any artifact of your choice minus Aureus on Brenya. And we have my damage flan to just clear things up. Like, I mean, she's good everywhere. Now let's get into the builds. My Arya, she's on Victorious Flag with 2.3k defense, almost 110 effect resistance, crit chance and crit damage, and lifesteal, of course. That's the most important part. She's on lifesteal. Elena is gonna be on decent effect resistance and also Mother Staff. This is gonna provide more effect resistance to your team. And Silvertide Christie, because this wasn't a scouted tower, I went in with Bastion of Hope. Not that she needs it, she has 300% effect resistance, but to give more effect resistance to my Arya. That's the reason why she has that. Second round, as I mentioned, Proof of Valor with some defense and HP. Damage build with her on RT. And then Brenya I just use her on Adam's shield because my 3F isn't maxed and I have only one, and my holy stack I have only one on someone else. I went with the third option, which is Adam's shield. It reduces the damage for Brania, but it doesn't reduce the damage for Elvira. So more points to me for using this scout. Now let's get into it. Yeah, evasion BBK, of course. You're gonna have the S3. Then of course Bellion is gonna go next. This is gonna proc our Elena, but the problem is it's also gonna CR push my Arya because of Christie's passive. So your Arya most probably is gonna lose her invincibility. Ideally you don't want to lose that, but Christie's CR push cannot be turned off. That's very annoying to me, but whatever. As you guys can see, we are dealing decent damage and BBK isn't on ER, but she was able to hit my Arya anyway. So as her health goes down, she's gonna start dealing more damage. Bellion, see, I just missed. I'm gonna miss multiple times in this fight. Like that 20% evasion is almost 100% evasion sometimes. They did so much damage. This is because I cannot heal off of them because of the misses. And here I'm checking if she's on counter or not. Very risky move, I should have done that, but anyway. Yeah. Now this is gonna proc her second immortality and deal a decent chunk of damage to Bellion. Another attack. Bye bye Bellion. Another heal. I'm hoping that I just can survive here. Just counter attacks are coming right and left. Yes. Now Arya is gonna miss again? No, thank God. Safe attack? Kinda. I prefer Sinjalka, Genoa, and BBK more. Now, at the start of the fight, very easy. Harseri is gonna apply S3. This is gonna penetrate defense of Elvira. She lost, I'm so bad at math, maybe 10% of her health. So we have 40% more to go, which is nice because Mort is definitely gonna deal that 40%, but it's not gonna kill her. That's the important part. There, Young Senia is gonna push, and then Mort is gonna deal the Death Pen into Brania, but he's also gonna deal some decent damage to Elvira. We're gonna proc Rise the Soul. And then here your priority should always be Harseri. You need to kill her before she starts proccing Abyssal Crown or any annoying debuffs on you. Then your, of course, second priority is going to be Mort, because if he's out of the way, then you should be just fine. As I mentioned before, Elvira is gonna be taking all the damage from Mort and Young Senia because of the elemental disadvantage. So it's very good in that sense. I'm gonna use my guaranteed defense break. Thank God for this. And then one more attack and goodbye. Very safe attack. So guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If my voice quality sounds a bit different compared to before, it's because I was using AI to enhance it and it was taking too much time for me. I had to extract the video from AI and then get it and download it and then add it to my video editor and then export that file, upload it to YouTube and then wait for YouTube to be on, like, get the video. So it was a nightmare. So if it's a bit lower than what you guys are used to, apologize for that. I should be getting a new mic in a month. So when I get that, I'm hoping that my mic quality is gonna be better than this. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys like learned new comp ideas, because this meta is right now insane compared to how it was when I first started. So thank you again so much for watching this video, guys. Take care of yourself and see you in the next one. Bye bye.